Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. For those of you who don't know, I'm a pretty big Godzilla fan. Well, I haven't really mentioned it on the channel yet, but yeah, I am a pretty big Godzilla fan. Along with dinosaurs, sharks, Five Nights at Freddy's, and other things, Godzilla is another one of my favorite things ever. And the MonsterVerse is my favorite era of Godzilla. And it also made me really like Kong too. Although I do like Godzilla better, it gave Kong a lot more depth. And when I heard that Adam Wingard was returning to make another Godzilla and Kong movie, I was actually pretty ecstatic, since I had really liked Godzilla vs. Kong when it first came out, and I really wanted to see more. However, when the first trailer came out, I was a little skeptical. I wasn't really too keen on Godzilla's new design, and the animation looked rather unfinished and kind of bad at some parts. So I was pretty worried about the film. However, when the second trailer came out, oh my gosh, this is a lot better than the first one. And just like that, I was back on the hype train for the movie. I was still a little skeptical though. I did grow on Godzilla's new design, however, they were pretty much over-marketing the movie, which made me pretty worried. And some other problems I had with the marketing was that they were making it look like the main villain of the movie was pretty pathetic. And I'll just go ahead and get this out the way. I have seen the entire plot leak for the movie.
What did he say?
Yeah, so unfortunately I was exposed to the entire plot of the movie, so I know what's going to happen in the movie. However, just because you read about it doesn't mean you won't get surprised when seeing it. And so, what are my thoughts on the movie? It was pretty good actually. Now there will be a dedicated spoiler part to this video, but right now we'll talk about the no spoiler things. So this movie was pretty good, but what did I like about it? Well, I am pleasant to say that the monster action was probably the best in the series. There were a lot of amazing scenes in this movie. There was like a 15-minute segment where there was just no words between Kong and Zuko, and it was just monsters doing their thing. I really liked it. I'll talk about 3 monsters right here that aren't really spoilers. First up, Kong. Kong was really good in this movie. He was pretty funny, awesome. He gives me a lot of Kratos vibes from God of War. Godzilla is not a major character until the very end. He has the lowest screen time out of all of the MonsterVerse movies besides Monarch Legacy of Monsters, with over 8 minutes of screen time. But it's what he does with that screen time really makes it stand out. He does some awesome things. And some questionable things too, but we'll get to that later. Scar King is not pathetic. Well, he kinda is, but he is still capable at fighting, and he is pretty cool too. That makes me happy. And it's kinda ironic that he is probably the most evil, yet funny villains in the MonsterVerse. The human plotline is up there with some of the best plotlines in the MonsterVerse. However, it really relies on convenience. I'll get to that later. The music was actually really good. Although I don't like Tom anymore, I'm glad that I can look back at this piece and say that was really good. And there weren't any characters in this movie that were unlikable or annoying, which is an achievement for MonsterVerse standards, since every movie and TV show has at least one bad egg in there. Now we are getting to spoiler territory, and this is the part where you should click to another part of the video, the time will be right here, and view that part to skip all the spoilers so you can go see it for yourself. And I mean, what are you doing here? Watch the movie. First up, not really a spoiler since the marketing kinda ruined it, but Shimo. A lot of people are saying that Shimo was overhyped and she didn't really do anything really cool in the movie, but I disagree. She didn't need to do anything cool because she already is a pretty cool Titan. She is the first ever Frost Titan to appear in a Godzilla movie. I did want to see more of her though. I'm completely fine with how she was treated in the movie. She wasn't really used to her full potential, but I'm completely fine with it though. We at least got a cool Ice Titan. Now for Mothra. So if you don't know, Mothra was originally meant to be a Titan called Phosphora. However, test audience didn't like the first Titan and replaced it with Mothra. And it kinda shows in some parts. Like, there's some parts where Mothra does things that Mothra wouldn't normally do. Not like in behavior-wise, but how she was like brought back. Instead of her morphing into a cocoon like normal Mothra would, she just comes into existence. Now let's talk about Scylla and Tiamat. I'm a little disappointed that they were killed off as early as they were. Now, I'm not as sad when seeing Scylla die, because one, I'm kinda used to seeing her die in fan animations like Slick's Godzilla vs. Destroya. And two, she kinda had it coming in the comics Godzilla Dominion and Godzilla Kong the Hunted. because she was kind of being a menace to the ecosystem in those two. For Tiamat, though, yeah, I'm kind of sad about her death, but we can at least appreciate that she was the first ever Titan from the Monsterverse to make it into a movie that was previously in a comic. Not even Muto Prime has achieved that yet. Looking at you, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I was hoping for more of a fight from the two of them though, considering that Tiamat almost defeated Godzilla once and defeated the rival, which drawed Godzilla back out of his home. I was hoping for more of a fight. Now back to the humans for a bit. Remember when I said that they were extremely convenient? Yeah, they were pretty convenient in this movie. So Kong gets his arm frozen by Shimo's frostbite blast, which is unable to move anymore, and he will probably die in a few days. So, what did humans do, now that Kong's arm is frozen, and they don't have any contact with the surface? And then the Dan Stevens character is like, "Hey Lois, remember the time that we had that Project Powerhouse? Oh man, that was so freaking sweet. We should get it, and it has anti-serum things for Kong. Man, I love that time. And holy crap, Lois, it's conveniently 500 feet away from here. Man, that's so awesome. Man, this is better than the time I was a dinosaur from the game Path of Titans." And so, they now have a metal arm for Kong. I will say though, I do like the idea that it came from Mechagodzilla though. Well, not really came from Mechagodzilla, more like since after the Mechagodzilla incident, they started trying to upgrade their Titans. Another convenient moment is with Trapper again. Yes, a lot of these convenient moments happen with Dan Stevens' character, where he gets a bunch of birds that happen earlier in the movie and uses them to distract Shimo and Scar King's army from getting to the surface. Even with these small gripes with the movie, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see more of Adam Wingard directing more movies, especially with the next Godzilla Kong movie, which is going to be more about Godzilla, which I cannot wait for. Next video will be about Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. Stay tuned for that one, and the video after that will be a big rant on my part. It'll see me get the most mad I've ever been. See you later, I'm Gabriel Dillon.